Hey guys, it's Rich. I know I've been gone a while, and that will be explained here. Um, but I wanted to do a video response to both Annie and Tequila. Both of them have done videos on witches who don't witch, and I figured I'd do a video response to that because I watched Annie's a while ago, and I came across Tequila's probably a couple days ago. I watched it, and I saw Annie's, and of course, with all due respect to Annie, and you guys knowing how much I admire Annie as a teacher, it was more, pardon the pun, analytical, and it had to deal with more introspective type of aspects instead of judging others. And then I came across Tequila's. And if you don't know who Tequila is, she is the Lady Grave Dancer. And I will put a link to both of the videos in the bottom bar as well as here and here. I'm going to try to make that happen. Okay. Annie's was more about basically don't judge others, and think about, when you had your little backslides and weren't witching through your problems, which I found helpful, in order to not judge others and their non-witching times. But this past 4 months have been my non-witching times, and whenever I came to Tequila's video, it kind of, and I mean this with all due respect to Tequila, it was kind of in your face, a little, it was almost like a slap in the back of the head, like, snap out of it, get your crap together, and get up, dust yourself off, and do your workings. Put it out there and do it. And that's exactly what I needed at the time. So I want to say thank you to Tequila for that, and give my own little thing about why I haven't been witching, which I should have been. I mentioned it in the 77 question community tag, which apparently Tequila kind of collaborated with people to get all the questions and then put them in the question form and all that. So I mentioned it in one of those videos. I do believe, I think it was a question of, have you ever had a spell go horribly wrong? And like I said in that video, I did a spell in 2012. Now, this is 4 years ago now. And it didn't go horribly wrong. Nothing caught on fire. I didn't kill anybody. It was one to bring love into my life. Somebody that was supposed to be in my life at that moment. And whenever that happened, I ended up getting burned. Financially. So, with that lesson learned, I ended up learning a lesson of, hey, go through and, see all the aspects of the spells that you're doing. So I kind of really took a step back from doing any workings or any spellcraft, at least the major stuff. Little stuff here and there, empowering myself, doing small stuff, still holding ritual or holding space in a sense, not necessarily doing a full-blown ritual. Those were the type of things that I did. Not doing real, go get 'em type spells, little tiny things. And I haven't really done any major spell workings since then, and I should have been. Looking back now, I should have been doing spell crafting for the business. I should have done spell crafting for, actually finding somebody that I was supposed to be with, instead of just licking my wounds from the last one. And I should have been doing it this last 4 months. the last 4 months, I've basically been in a rut. You ever have those times whenever your energy just feels completely depleted? Yeah, that's what these last 4 months have been like. And the only other time that I've had it that bad, actually had it worse, was right before coming to Korea. And I was talking to Ro, my business partner, and she says, well, do you think you might have depression or something like that? I said, I don't want to say yes or no without having a doctor and all that stuff, which, it would probably behoove me to actually go to a doctor and get diagnosed one way or the other. Because that's something I take very seriously, whether or not putting the label of depression on myself, because I have a friend that actually does that, and she's never been diagnosed, and she's actually not in a depression state. She's just lazy and really wants to play the system, which I don't appreciate. And then I have this other friend that actually has bipolar and takes high offense to it. So I don't want to label myself with any depression or anything, but that was the closest I ever came to depression, was last year around this time. But I don't think it was depression, but it was a depression of my own sort, where I just felt depleted. I went to work, did my job, came home, watched Netflix, and went to bed. Or watched some YouTube videos and went to bed. I didn't really have much going on outside of that. So that's basically what's been happening this last 4 months. And then whenever I saw Tequila's video on witches who don't witch, and she said, I don't understand it. I understand taking a break, having a drink, crying it out, screaming or talking to somebody, and, to paraphrase, generally just feel bad for a minute and then snap out of it and get to your workings and make things happen for you. And that kind of was the slap in the head that I needed to get me back on track. And then I did a tarot reading for myself, which I'll tell you this, and I'll probably cover more on tarot. Matter of fact, you know what? I am going to do another video on just how my tarot cards and I react to one another. But anyway, my tarot reading basically said, hey, Hermit's in reversed right now, and that's something totally in your control, and that's messing with your stability, because the Emperor above me was in reversed, and that's messing with everything else. So basically my tarot cards told me the exact same thing that Tequila told me, was get your crap together, do your workings, and even if you have a low energy at this point, put what you have into your working. Do something. Feed off the energy of Samhain, the season of Samhain, which is one of the two favorite Sabbaths of mine. How I love Samhain, and how I just feel so energized right now. I tell you, this whole week I really couldn't sleep, and that's not due to depression. It was due to the energy in the air here. It was just so vibrant that I couldn't even sleep. I think I've gotten a whole, maybe a full 24 hours worth of sleep the entire week. But I was so energized. I was still, kind of kicking butt, taking names type of energized, that I didn't even want to sleep. But I have to give it to Tequila. Yeah, gave me the kick in the butt, the slap on the back of the head that I really needed. And I thank you. And I thank Annie for the video that she did to remember these types of moments whenever they come again, because I'm sure at some point I will, in the the Christian sense of backsliding, I will fall into an old routine of come home, go to bed, Netflix, and then wake up, and then do it all over again. I'm sure that I'm going to be in those situations again, and I wouldn't want anybody to judge me, and I wouldn't want to judge anybody else if they're going through that type of time. So I thank Annie for, making me have to remember that witches that don't witch, we all go through it. And to Tequila, that even though you may be going through this time that you don't feel like it, that you really feel down, that you're backsliding away from your practice, that you haven't been even working with stones or even bonding with Chip. As you guys know, my crystal ball, who's staring at me asking to be on camera, which he will be at the end of this video. I haven't even been bonding. I haven't been doing my own form of the rosary that I do that gives me so much comfort. I haven't been doing those things, and Tequila kind of put into perspective of, hey, slap on the back of the head, even though you don't feel like it, do a little bit. You might be stuck, it might be dammed up right now, and you have to start removing the rocks in order for the dam to break free. So, start moving the rocks. Change things in your life that can be changed. Do your workings. So, to witches that don't witch, a little perspective from this witch who hasn't been witching lately and hasn't really done much in the term of witching for the past couple years, at least not in the bigger things. Like I said, little things here and there. Positive affirmations, a couple candles, holding ritual space, at least holding recognition for the Sabbats. If you're in that situation where you are not witching as a witch, it's okay. But there comes a time whenever, after not witching for a certain amount of time, which you as a witch can put a time limit on it. Give yourself a day. Give yourself maybe a week. And then tell yourself, no matter what, after that day, that week, I'm at least going to do some workings. I'm going to pull out my crystals. I'm going to bond with them. I'm going to hold ritual. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do something to break the dam free. I'll be honest in saying that one of my thoughts, one of my fears actually, of being a witch is that one day it all goes away. The knowledge, even though I have the knowledge of, this energy is limitless, it's universal, it comes and it goes, it ebbs and it flows, and it will always be there. Before me, after me. It will be there. It surrounds me at all times. And even though I know this, I still have that fear of, what if I come into the situation where I can't witch any longer? That anything that I do doesn't do anything. And that's a fear that I have to work on. You don't lose your ability to witch. You don't lose your ability to spellcraft or to do any type of workings, you don't lose it. It just becomes atrophied. Your witchy muscles are not being worked out the way they should be. So, with all that being said, I sincerely want to thank Annie and Tequila for setting me straight and keeping me in the proper mind frame, the proper headspace for when seeing others in a similar situation. If you have not watched Tequila's video, I will stick that right here. And if you have not watched Annie's video, I will stick that right here. And apparently, whenever I put these links in the video, if you're watching it mobile, it doesn't let you click on it. So I'm also going to start putting the links to everything that I leave links to in the videos. I'm also going to put them in the bottom. So check the bottom bar in the description box there. And click on their videos if you haven't watched them. Subscribe to them if you're not. I think anybody that really watches my videos, if they're not subscribed to Annie by now, then you're really doing yourself a disservice. And if you want to watch videos on making tinctures or herbs or, well, let's see, soaps, or just about anything generally witchy, do go to Lady Grave Dancers, Tequila's channel, and subscribe to her. She has a lot of information on there that she covers, and she's a well-informed witch with no particular tradition. If you have not subscribed to either one, do so. And if you have not watched those videos, the links again will be in the bottom bar. And if you're not subscribed to me, go ahead and subscribe to me right above my head right here. Or click the subscribe button if you're watching from mobile. If you have not been to Christo-Paganism.com, go ahead and go there. I should have some more stuff coming up soon on the site. Again, took a little hiatus from that. And if you aren't following me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me right there. And also in the bottom bar it has a link. Again, I haven't been posting on Twitter, and that will be explained in another video. So, with that, I think I'm going to sign off with love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye. And as promised, there's Chip.